Hey everyone, we've all been told to just stay positive, but what does that even mean, really? Today, we're going to go way beyond the cliche and uncover the real, science backed power that's hiding in that phrase. Let's dive in. So, we have to ask this right out of the gate. Is all this talk about being positive just, feel good fluff? Is it just empty advice we give each other when we don't know what else to say? It's a skepticism I think a lot of us have felt. Well, the answer might actually shock you. It turns out that decades of research show that positivity isn't just a state of mind. It's a measurable biological force that can physically change your brain and your body for the better. So, where does this whole transformation begin? Well, it all starts right up here in the command center, your brain. Let's take a look at what actually happens when you flip that switch to an optimism setting. Okay, so a really core concept here is something called the broaden and build theory from Dr. Barbara Fredrickson. The idea is pretty profound. Positive emotions don't just give you a quick little boost. They literally expand our minds, helping us see more possibilities, more solutions, and they build up our resilience for the future. And you can see the chemical difference right here. When you're in a negative mindset, your system gets flooded with the stress hormone cortisol, which leads to those knee-jerk, impulsive reactions. But on the flip side, a positive mindset releases hormones like dopamine and serotonin, promoting calm, thoughtful responses. It's like you're operating in a completely different neurological reality. So, just to be super clear, positivity is not about ignoring your problems. Not at all. It's about changing your brain's chemistry to give you the clarity and the strength you need to face those challenges head on and overcome them. But hey, the effects don't just stop in the brain. This positive shift creates this incredibly powerful biological shield for your entire body. Let's see how that works. And there's really no better place to start than with the engine of your body, your heart. The connection between your emotional well-being and your cardiovascular health it's incredibly strong. Just get a load of this number. A huge 2019 study found that optimistic people had a staggering 35% lower risk of major cardiovascular events, like heart attacks. Isn't that wild? That is a massive protective effect, and it's driven entirely by your outlook on life. And the list just keeps going. Research shows that optimists also tend to have stronger immune systems and can even slow down biological aging. They measure this by looking at your telomeres. You can think of them like the little plastic tips on your shoelaces, but for your DNA. Longer telomeres mean your cells are aging better, and positive thinkers, well, they tend to have them. And this is where it gets really practical. For people dealing with a serious illness, a positive outlook isn't some luxury. It's a critical tool for recovery. It actually leads to people sticking with their treatments, having fewer complications, and a real, measurable reduction in their suffering. Okay, so the science is totally clear. But how do we actually do it? How can we get more of this positivity into our own lives? Well, the fantastic news is that this is a skill. And like any skill, you can learn it. And here is your toolkit, 7 powerful research-backed techniques that can help you systematically build a more positive mindset. Here they are, from things like mindfulness and gratitude to just moving your body and staying connected with people. Each one of these is a legitimate tool for rewiring your brain. We're going to zoom in on a couple of the most powerful ones. Let's start with gratitude journaling. Now, it might sound a little cheesy, but the research is stunning. Taking just a few minutes each day to write down what you're thankful for can increase your overall happiness by 25% in just a few weeks. Why? Because you are actively retraining your brain to shift its focus away from threats and start looking for the rewards. That is a huge return on a tiny investment of your time. And what about social connection? There was a landmark Harvard study that found people with strong relationships don't just feel better, they actually live longer. We're talking up to 7.5 years longer, on average. That pretty much makes our friendships just as vital to our health as our diet and exercise. So, what's the big takeaway from all of this? Well, it really all comes down to a choice. Positivity is an active choice you can make every single day, a choice to help your mind and your body heal. And let's be absolutely 100% clear. This is not about toxic positivity. This is not about pretending everything is perfect when it's not. Life is full of very real challenges and very real pain. Instead, true positivity is about training. It's about training your mind to find steadiness even in the middle of a storm. And when you do that, you empower your body with the resources it needs to weather that storm and come out stronger. I think this quote just says it all. You don't do it because life is easy. You do it because you are worth it. Your health, your hope, and your capacity to heal all deserve this powerful biological advantage.
So I'll just leave you with this question to think about. Based on everything we've just seen, what is one small positive action you can commit to taking today? Thanks so much for watching.